My name is Dan Studer. I am the head trainer and owner of Torture Chamber CrossFit. I'm also a phys ed teacher and a strength coach at Lexington High School. I'm a husband and a father. I have a 2-year-old named Steven, who's named after my dad, and I have a 4-month-old daughter named Anna, and beautiful wife Amy. That's pretty much my life wrapped up into 1 or 2 sentences. Torture Chamber Lifting Club is a CrossFit gym, and we're group or / class. We're relatively small gyms. We'll have anywhere from 15 people to some nights like tonight, 3 or 4. We're working in a group session. It's kind of a combination of powerlifting, Olympic lifting, gymnastics, and aerobic conditioning all in one. A little bit different every day. I think that's why people like it. It's got a little bit of a competitive aspect to it. Things are always for time or how many reps you can get. But that's pretty much just the venue for what we do. The Torture Chamber CrossFit and Torture Chamber Lifting Club before that. The ideals that we have at our gym, which was my father's gym before me, are just come in, get better, get stronger, love doing it, be around great people, and push yourself every day to be the best you can be at whatever that is. My dad started the Torture Chamber Lifting Club, I believe, in 1985. Gosh, he must have been 5 years old at the time. And it started in his garage. At first, it was just him and a couple powerlifting buddies getting strong. In the early years when he was working out of the garage, he was still working out of a factory and putting in, and he always told me that how much he hated that job. That kind of went from, a couple different houses. Our first house down on Erdel Street when we were really young, and then it transferred over to our next house on Bennington, which I think it got a little bit bigger. Then it moved down into our basement. And that's where he trained a lot of the Division I athletes, Chris Spielman and Daryl Strickler and Jared Vance, and those are all the bigger football names in Massillon. He did a few years of bodybuilding and different types of training with that before he moved into powerlifting, and then he moved into strictly athletic training. When Lee Owens got the football job at Massillon, then he took all of it into the high school and started training high school kids full-time for his job. And then when we built the new high school in 1990, they portioned off and actually built in a real weight room this time just for strength training. It still is one of the bigger and higher-end weight rooms in high school football. He really self-funded the whole thing. He had a huge lift-a-thon every year, which still goes on to this day, raises a ton of money for the weight room. I think that was something that he was really proud of, is that, him, along with his, lifters, were the ones that raised the money for the new equipment. And they always had the nicest stuff. They always had cutting-edge equipment that other people were really, even colleges at this point were kind of a step behind what he was doing at Massillon.
Betsy, kids, Junie, Dolores, Joe, Susie. On behalf of the Massillon City Schools, its Board of Education, administration, staff, and students, it is my honor today to let you know that what was once called the Washington High School Weight Room today is officially renamed the Stephen P. Studer Memorial Strength and Conditioning Center. With love from a grateful school district, a grateful athletic program, and friends. Till we meet again, Slobby.
Everything he stood for, the people in this town stand for. And he was kind of the poster child for that. People gravitated towards him because he was raised here, he was born here. He came back here to train the kids at Massillon. People looked at him as kind of the face of the program and the face of the city, really. Because what he stood for, the people of the city stand for. It's a blue-collar, hard-working town. steel mill town. And that's what Stu was. That's what he was. That's what he is. And when Stu passed, it didn't seem real. It doesn't seem real right now. I mean, it really doesn't. Yeah, you just give me a second, yeah.
At his funeral, when we had the calling hours, and we're just standing in line for hours and hours and hours and hours, and it was just, the line never ended. And I think we were there for 12 plus hours or something, standing in line, just meeting all these kids and all these people, and these grown men, and who all just were affected by him. It's powerful. That's legendary. So following in his footsteps, was kind of a no-brainer for me. That was something I wanted to do. Before he died, maybe even more so a little bit after he died. As you get older in life, you realize, and this was something that Grandpa had always said to me too, when you wake up on Monday morning, if you're excited to go to work, then you're doing the right thing. That meant something, and that kind of stuck back here.
And as you go through life, that passion should increase, not decrease. If Steve had found something that fit, he had to go all out for it, or he couldn't do it. He only had one way of doing things, and that's pretty well happened with all our family. They enjoy doing, and yet to an extreme, helping other people, as the younger boys do with their athletic capacity. And I was the luckiest of all, because I loved working. When we lived there above the Tiger store, I was like, we'd work all day, and then finally we'd break down and go over to the next door to the house and turn in, and I'd lay there 10 minutes thinking about the truck I had to let her the next day that was sitting in the garage, and I'd get up, start all over again. But I liked it not because I had to, but because I wanted to. I liked it. I look forward to it. That's not a bad way to go through life. And we worked. We worked the whole family all their life. We worked hard, and it paid off, not necessarily financially, but things we have here, which mean more to us than the financial end of it anyway. Not that we starved or anything, but the business was not designed to see how much money we could make. I don't know if they realized it or not, but the business was there to keep us all happy and to keep us all as one.
So I believe that people are put on this earth for a reason. I think that everybody has an inner drive to accomplish something, whatever that may be. And I think that our passions are how we define that. And I think that passions trump everything. So if you can find what you're really passionate about and then work towards that and make that your driving force through life, that's not only when you're going to be the happiest, but that's also when you're the most productive. Because you're doing what you're meant to do. You're doing what you were born to do. And, I think that was what Dad passed on to me. I think that was what was passed on to him from Grandpa. And, that's really what this is all about. When I go to work every day and I'm working with these kids and I'm working with these adults and these people that want to get better every day and are striving to get better, We're teaching them how to be strong. It has nothing to do with picking up heavy weights and putting stuff down. It has to do with just pushing yourself to be better every day, spiritually, mentally, physically, and everything that you do, how you love your family, how you go to work, and whatever that work is, whether it's being a teacher, being a garbage man, or being a guy that paints houses. Doesn't matter. If that's your passion and you attack it every day, you're going to make a difference, and you're going to be happy in life. And that type of charisma and that type of attitude just spreads with everybody around you. But it only works when you're doing what you're meant to do and what you're passionate about doing. And that's what the torture chamber is all about, and that's what being a student is all about. And that's the one lesson, one of the many lessons, but probably the main lesson that I got from my father that I'm going to pass on to my son. For him, it might be something completely different. He might not be into lifting weights or sports or anything, and that's 100% fine with me. It's finding what drives you. It's finding what that passion is. It's finding why your heart beats and why you wake up every morning and doing what you love to do and being the best that you absolutely can at it, no matter what level that is. I might not be the best coach in the world. I might not ever be the best weightlifter or CrossFitter or strength coach or anything like that, but I'm going to try to be the best that I can be every day. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters. And it's just kind of the ideal and the mindset that makes me tick. And that's something that I brought away from my dad that I just hope someday that I can pass that on to my kids and anybody else that wants to learn it.